joined by our colleague Arun Giri of taxsutra.com. He is privy to some information. This is an exclusive that he is picking up. So I'm going to toss this across to him. Arun, what do you know at this point in time? What could have led to Cyrus Mistry's departure?
Shireen, we know a lot, but a first disclaimer, this is more in my personal capacity as a journalist and not to do anything with Tax Sutra, but we have some big news, Shireen, on this. Number one, Mr. Cyrus Mistry's removal as Tata Sons chairman is to do with management issues. That's what we hear, quote-unquote, management issues. Number two, there are issues concerning Tata Group ethics, we are told, quote-unquote, Tata Group ethics, which also have led to this removal. Number three, very critical, Shireen, what we learn is he has been removed as the chairman of Tata Sons, but not as a director of Tata Sons as yet. That will need a process to be adopted as per the Company Act. And of course, I think we will need a lot of company law experts in the next couple of hours. But he's been removed as the chairman of Tata Sons, not yet as a director of Tata Sons. Possibly an EOGM could be convened for his removal as the director of Tata Sons. Very, very, very big news that we get, Shireen, is that things are not well between the Tata trusts that have a big stake in Tata Sons and Cyrus Mistry. What we are told is that the relationship has been steadily deteriorating over a period of time, and we even learned from some reliable sources that some possibly nasty emails were exchanged, and we are told that possibly not such a polite language or whatever was used in certain communications to Mr. Ratan Tata from Mr. Cyrus Mistry. Of course, this is source-based. Another very important piece of news that we have, Justice Ravindran, former Supreme Court judge, former Finance Minister of the country, Mr. P. Chidambaram, and former Solicitor General of India, Mr. Mohan Parasaran, all the three were consulted on this matter by Tata Sons. We are told that possibly legal opinion has been obtained by them, from these three legal luminaries on the removal, and I think that they've got the go-ahead, which is why the removal has happened. What we are also told, Shireen, and this may fall into now the space of the courts. What we learn is that the Cyrus Mistry camp, the Shapoorji Pallonji, which also has a stake in Tata Sons, they have claimed that this removal is illegal, that a minimum 15 days notice was required for this point to be discussed. I think the Tata Trusts are going to claim that was not necessary, and they could have gone ahead suo moto and done this removal. All is not well. For sure, Shireen, I think we have some big news. If we are talking of Tata Group ethics,
yes,
yeah. If we are talking of management issues,
Arun, just hang on, because there's a lot of information that you have given to us. Let me start with what I found was the most interesting. You are saying that Tata Sons had consulted with Justice Ravindran, with the former Solicitor General Mohan Parasaran, and the former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram on the possible removal of Cyrus Mistry.
Absolutely, Shireen. The important part is that, Shireen, that we'll have to get into some of these nitty-gritties on how he's the group chairman. I think he's the group chairman because he heads Tata Sons. That's how it was in the case of Mr. Ratan Tata as well. He headed Tata Sons. He was the chairman of Tata Sons, if I recollect correctly, Shireen. And therefore, if you had to remove Mr. Cyrus Mistry from heading the Tata Group or from running the Tata Group, you had to effectively remove him as the chairman of Tata Sons. That was the critical, and that's why a legal opinion was necessary. You cannot, you cannot remove the chairman of a company which runs a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, one of the biggest conglomerates in the world. You cannot remove without the legal opinion of scholars, of luminaries, and knowing fully well that you might have a pitched legal battle ahead. Because there are some big issues here. So one is the personal issues, one are the legal issues, one are management and ethics issues. So this could really blow up in a very big way, is what we learn from sources, Shireen. Of course, every word that I've spoken is source-based, and from whatever I hear, this looks like it reminds me of a famous battle 11 years back, Ambani versus Ambani. This is something, 100 years, I think, Shireen, the Tata Sons history, this company has. And now to have internal board battle, which probably might be a first in the history of the Tata Group. We should also get some Tata Group historians in.
Okay, no, we have been speaking to some Tata Group historians as well, Arun. But what you're saying is that this is a boardroom battle in that case between two groups in the board.
Absolutely, because else you wouldn't want, you will surely, even to be on the safer side, if the Tata Trust wanted the removal of Mr. Cyrus Mistry, you would still seek a legal opinion. You would err on the safer side. But what we do learn is that Mr. Mistry camp or Shapoorji Pallonji Group, which has a stake in Tata Sons,
yes,
they have objected to it. They have termed it illegal, is what we learn. And they felt that a 15 days notice was an absolute pre-necessity to initiate this, which the Tata Trust have said they have a legal opinion that could have been waived off. Now the question is, if Mr. Mistry has to be removed as a director from Tata Sons, then what do you do? Do you go the EOGM route and remove him, or what do they do? I
but
think
Arun Giri, would not removing Mr. Mistry be impossible, because he represents a certain clout of money. He represents the Shapoorji Pallonji family. I mean, I'm not surprised that you can't remove him as director, because he doesn't come there by the good graces of anybody, but simply because of the money he represents, the holding power that he represents. But to be the chairman of that company, he does need majority support of the board, which apparently has evaporated now. So it looks quite logical that if he has lost the support of some of the Tata trusts, he can be by majority be asked to step down or removed. But he can't be removed as director simply because he has earned that. He brings that because he has the support of the Shapoorji Pallonji 18.5% voting power.
He would, Lata, but there would be clauses in the Companies Act. You would go to Companies Act for this.
Yep.
You have processes to remove a director,
okay,
and a director can be removed, in that way. Now, Tata Sons, to the best of my recollection, is a public limited company. It's not a private limited company. So we will have to dig up the clauses, go through the finer details on how would you go about the removal of a director from a public limited company. And from whatever I heard right now, the first thing that I heard from legal expert is that you have to convene a EOGM, an extraordinary general meeting.
Okay.
So it's not that it cannot be removed. There would be a process that would be there to remove him if it comes to that. Right now, Lata, what we learn is that this is contested. This is
fair
likely
point. This
to
is
be
contestable
contested.
and is being
one
contested.
Group that you have the Tata Trust, which clearly feel there are management issues, that there were huge losses which were being run up in some company, that there were ethics issues relating the Tata Group ethics issues, quote unquote, and there were personal issues also between the Tata Trust and
So,
Mr. Mistry.
Arun,
and possibly,
Arun, again, just to go. Just to go back to the point that you were making, now it clearly seems that this to us seems like it's a decision that we don't know when the process of taking this decision started. But if you can piece together what you now do know, when was the legal opinion sought, Arun, from luminaries like the former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram, from Mohan Parasaran, from Justice Ravindran? When were they reached out to get legal opinion on what the Tata Sons could have done with the decision which has transpired today?
Shireen, this is somewhere I would need to put on, maybe a reporter's hat and take a quick guess. Having, covered the legal beat for 12 years, my sense is that you cannot conjure up a legal opinion on something as huge, as blockbuster as this. I'm not sure you can do it overnight. You cannot get an opinion from people of the eminence of Justice Ravindran, Mr. Chidambaram, and Mr. Parasaran, in 24 hours notice. My own sense is that this would have been coming, or they would have been briefed on this matter at least 8 to 10 days ago, or maybe even slightly more. I would be surprised if this were not they were not briefed, or they were not, or the opinion was not sought at least 10 to 15 days back, at least.
Point taken, Arun. So there are three separate issues then. There is a performance issue, there is a legal issue of probably a boardroom battle now, and you're raising a new word called ethics. Now that's quite different from performance. It's difficult for us to say anything about
I think
that.
it's very important that unless certain so-called allegations are verified, it may not be proper to put it on national television, Lata. But
Absolutely,
yes,
but clearly there is a
Tata
performance
Group ethics
as
issues
well as
that makes it even
a
more.
boardroom issue over here.